Hey everyone, today I wanted to share a little bit about my co-op journey at UBC. I wanted to share a specific journey about how I transitioned from an operations administrative role to a business development role and how that literally changed my life. Before I get into actually ended up being into the role, I wanted to share some obstacles I face and some emotional challenges. So if you're someone who is going through changing your career path, then please keep watching and I hope some of this can help you out as well. And those of you who don't know what a co-op program is, it is where you can work professionally alongside your degree, and you can also take semesters off and work for companies and get paid as well. So I got into the co-op program after my second try, and that is a story for a different day. But I applied and I started looking for jobs in summer of 2019. The co-op program, I tried to get any job possible. I mean, any job possible, because I was so unsure of what I wanted to pursue in my life at that time, and I was trying to look for different career paths which would interest me. And I applied to so many jobs, and I didn't even consider if I saw myself being a fit there. I just wanted to find a way possible to get into the professional work sphere and the corporate life and the office work life, if that makes sense. Applied for various roles too, and I faced a ton of rejections. So the more rejections I got, the lower my confidence got. So I tried to diversify the different types of jobs I would be applying for. That really made me sort of anxious and far more in general, it made me get a far more self-conscious about my current skill sets. So I knew I had to start at a much lower entry-level jobs to get higher up into what I wanted to actually pursue in my life, which I wasn't even sure of. So I was just going with the flow and seeing what interviews I actually get from applying. I thought a certain caliber of jobs were rejecting me. I had to diversify and be able to secure a role. So I applied to 40 to 50 jobs, and I got interviews from 3 of them, and I secured a position at Paragon Testing Enterprises. So Paragon Testing Enterprises in Canada is a language testing firm, and they offer the scale, or more famously the CELPIP, which is a test you have to take in order to get the citizenship in Canada. My role was in their test center operations team, and I had to do administrative work including printing, data entry, and some customer service. And these tasks were for sure vital in order for making sure the operations team was running as smooth as possible. To be really honest, I knew from the first week that this job was not something I would be enjoying. And when my manager was giving me a tour around the office, I really liked it. But when my tasks were being explained to me, it's really shaking my head that I knew I signed up for this, but I really didn't know the day-to-day would be like. But I felt super guilty even thinking about the fact that I don't like my job, because I had spent so much time applying for these jobs in the first place that thinking about not liking my job didn't feel like an option. I just complained a lot to my friends that, oh my goodness, going into this job is making me feel so drained. I don't know what I'm doing. But honestly, they were also done with me, because they were also trying to get jobs of their own, and that made me feel even guiltier that I hated a job that I had. But the paychecks were obviously good because it was my first co-op job and they paid well, and that's what kept me going. But I realized that grander scheme of things, it's not enough, because you don't feel like you're growing and you're learning. So the best way to get a go about this is to actually learn about what other people are doing in the company and seeing if anything that they were doing would actually interest me. So what I did was, from that point on, I spoke to a lot of interns at Paragon who got co-ops and what their roles were like. And after various lunchroom chats, I spoke to Charles, who is a business development intern at Paragon, and he casually told me that what he was working on that summer, and I found that super interesting. I spent the next couple of weeks talking to him more and asking him questions about his day-to-day work life, what skills he had before getting the job, what I needed to learn. And he told me that he used Excel a lot for analysis, and I at that time had very basic skills. So the first thing I did that day when I went home was signed up for a Udemy course on pivot tables, and was determined to complete that course because that was the first step in majority of what his work was entailed around was analysis. He also told me that the team does a lot of strategy work, so opening up new test centers and finding ways they could increase their market share. So that was really exciting for me to hear. So I spent time watching videos and learning about how businesses increase their market share and go into new markets. And this stuff I was learning outside of my degree program. So I went home every day and I tried to learn a little bit more about what strategy work is like, and how businesses actually work in the business development sphere, and also the sales aspect of it. So I finally gained the confidence that I could learn these things in a relatively okay pace, which would help me in what I want to do in the future. At this point, I haven't even spoken to the business development manager about my interests because I was so scared that it would be put off. So I mustered up the courage to talk to Alice and to tell her that I was interested in applying for this position, but she had to give me the hard facts because my internship with my operations team was an 8-month contract. I wanted to cut it short to 4 months so I could have the other 4 months in this different role. And if I interviewed for the business development role, I wouldn't be able to continue with the operations team as well as a backup, so I would have to give it up completely. I knew deep down that the second I walked out of her office that I would be taking this opportunity and I would be taking the interview. I told her that I would do it, that I would take the risk, and I was aware that 2 other people had already interviewed for the same position, and I was extremely nervous. And the worst case would be that I finally found something I'm interested in, and if that didn't work out, it would like really crush my confidence that maybe I need to like really like rethink my life choices and go back to square one and where I was like being super unhappy with. I was just happy it was over and I got out of there, and I just started my operations work that day. And the next couple of days I didn't hear anything back, and then 2 days later I got an email from Alice that I had gotten the job, and I honestly had lost my mind. I was over the moon. I mean, I didn't really know it at that time, but that opportunity had actually changed my life for the better and had opened up so many doors for me that I wouldn't have ever even considered. So the moral of the story is, not happy with where you are in your career. If you're not happy with where you're going in your career, that is totally fine. Even if you have spent like ages applying and like working for a certain type of job because you thought it was okay for you and you want to change it, that is totally fine. The guilty feeling of getting a job and not liking it is absolutely normal. I mean, I have faced this, but I had to be assured by so many people that it is okay to switch your careers early on. It is okay to talk to your manager and be open and honest about how you feel about your current responsibilities, especially when you're in an internship like phase, because that is when you have to be able to learn and have to be able to like figure out what you're actually interested in. So if you want to know how I'm trying to have further growth in my career and trying to like learn more and get more opportunities, then please do comment below and I would be happy to have a chat with you.